What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. We've got a great video for you guys today. We're going to talk about the best times to drive currently. Before we jump into this video, just wanted to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Solo. Solo is the best way to simply make more money while doing rideshare for Uber and Lyft. It gets you guaranteed earnings. On top of that, it is packed full of a lot of other features like tracking. You can really take so many of the third-party apps you've used before and just do them all in this one app. It really just makes you more money. They say the average solo earner makes at least an extra $5K a year. That's some pretty good money if you really break down those numbers. On top of that, our viewers are gonna get $10 just for signing up. So check that out. Let's dive in. So from what I've seen from driving lately, and I've talked a lot lately about how you need to be ultra strategic in how you drive now. I used to just go out and grind out 12-hour days. I had plenty of weeks where I was doing 10-hour days, 6 days a week, 8-hour days, 7 days a week, and it used to be that dependable. But now with the cost of gas, with how the economy is, with how much our rates have been cut, we're losing pretty much half the fare on every ride that we should be losing because Uber is just a den of thieves. You have to be very particular about the times you drive. So for me, now my rule of thumb, if you're gonna do weekday driving, which I refuse to do now, I will not do any weekday driving unless there's a really big event or I'm anticipating a very high day of travel where I can rack up on airport rides. But if you do, I would say the same rule of thumb applies as always. You just want to do 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. I would say Monday and Thursday, you could do an early morning airport shift, maybe even Friday as well. It could depend a little bit on your city. Now, what I've seen is that 4 a.m. to about 7 a.m., I can do pretty decent. Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Tuesday and Wednesday, I won't touch it. But Monday, Thursday, and Friday, I can do pretty decent on that early morning shift. I don't do it anymore just because I hate being up that early for crap money. But if you need to make even just that little bit of extra, you can hit that early morning shift, go home, take a nap, and go back out. But I would only do it Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Weekends, to me, are still where it's at. Friday and Saturday, if you're able to do long hours, you need to grind out 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. Now, if you want, on Saturday, you can stretch that a little bit and go to like 5 a.m. and you'll actually start to get some airport rides wicked early. It's always an interesting conversation when someone's like, oh, you just getting started for the day? And you're like, nope, I'm ending technically in like an hour for the night. And it's like 5 a.m. Obviously, you've got to be cracked out on energy drinks to pull that off. I have done it before. I definitely feel like crap the next day when I do that, but it is some decent money if you need to maximize like profitable hours. Obviously, Uber's utilized hours theory. Dario claims we're making 45 an hour. That's absolute horse crap. But if you really need like the most like prime schedule, this is what I would recommend. Friday, 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. Saturday, 3 p.m. to 5 a.m. I'm not gonna condone driving more than 12 hours, but what I will say is if you don't care, alternating between the apps, as some of you might know, means you won't have to be forced to clock out on either app. So run both apps on Saturdays, go 3 p.m. to 5 a.m. In most cases for me, my Uber bookings are like 3x my Lyft bookings, and I'm really just trying to do enough Lyft driving so that I can stay logged onto the Uber app even longer. Now, Saturday is kind of a toss-up. It's really gonna depend on the day. It's also gonna depend on the market you're in. When I'm in the West, I do great driving on Sundays, but I've noticed like in the Bible Belt, you know, a lot more people are just going to church and staying home those days. But if you live in a more hustle bustle area that's maybe not so religious, and I'm not, you know, opposed to anybody who is, I'm just saying strictly what I witnessed as a driver in the Carolinas, as well as a driver in Phoenix, two very different states. And what I always saw is in Arizona, you know, that brunch crowd on Sundays is a wild one, and I could usually make really good money. If the Cardinals are playing, I'm really killing it that day. So Sundays are always a toss-up for me. I'm gonna base it more off NFL football. I'm gonna base it more off any other big events that might be going on. But generally, if nothing's going on and maybe I just wanna go make a quick $100, Sunday I'm gonna start at like anywhere from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and give it about 4 hours after that. And that's usually a very good window where I make good money. I rarely would go past 6 p.m. on a Sunday unless there's like a big concert or something that lets out late. But in general, people are trying to recover before their Monday. You might have a crazier crowd out. Odds are it's probably college kids that don't mind being absurdly hungover for school. You're not gonna get good tips from that crowd. Not too much surging action on Sundays, like I said, unless it's like an NFL or something of the sorts. So there's nothing you need to risk being out late for. But Saturday and Friday night, obviously the risk is well worth it because it usually pays off at least a little bit. So you gotta give up your weekends, but that's essentially what I think you should be doing. Weekdays, my vote is always gonna be just don't do it at all. But as I said, if you are gonna do it, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. is usually relatively safe. My numbers are always lower on those days than it would be for the weekend, but occasionally I'll get a luckier day in there. But usually I'm gonna utilize weekdays for hitting any bonuses early on that I don't wanna have to worry about for the weekend. So anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Check out Solo in the description below so you can start making some more money, get that guaranteed pay, and get $10 just for signing up. Hope you guys crush it out there this week, and stay tuned for more updates.